Researchers at Golisano Children's Hospital have received a multi-million-dollar grant to lead a first-of-its-kind study comparing the efficacy of treatments for sickle cell disease. More than 90% of people living with sickle cell are Black. And as News 10 NBC's Jennifer Lukey shows us tonight, hundreds rely on the clinic that specializes in treating it right here in Rochester.
Cherie Turpin was diagnosed with sickle cell as a baby.
I didn't notice just how severe this disease was until about high school, maybe undergrad. You start to see the problems kind of come to the forefront, pain being the hallmark of sickle cell.
The disorder affects the shape of the red blood cells that carry oxygen in the body, causing frequent severe pain, trouble breathing, and swelling.
It's excruciating, beyond excruciating. The pain scale where they ask you 1 to 10 doesn't work for us. Sometimes it's like 17, 30. It is bone crushing.
Dr. John Horn is a pediatric blood and marrow transplant surgeon at Golisano.
With time, pediatric sickle cell disease really evolves into something that's much more severe and debilitating for many adults. So some parents opt to do bone marrow transplant when their children are young.
A bone marrow transplant from a matched sibling can cure the disease, but Cherie, for example, is an only child. There are new gene therapies that are promising too, but not everyone will qualify. So there are also other medications that are used to manage it as children become adults.
So that is where the study comes in. 500 kids, teens, and young adults will be recruited to participate. Those with sickle cell will get the different treatments, whichever one they would choose. And then the researchers will follow them for 3 years to see what age they got, what treatment, how it helped, and what else they can learn.
Looking at the 5-year-old versus the 15-year-old, looking at the patient who's severely affected versus a patient who's less severely affected, to try to provide patients and families with the information they need to make an informed decision about whether bone marrow transplant would be right for their child, or if it's a teenager or young adult, whether it's right for them.
And look who's going to help those families navigate their treatment options. Cherie will be there working as a family liaison during the study.
I finally feel like we have a voice, we have input in our healthcare. For so long, we have told people what we go through, and it falls on deaf ears sometimes. So this gives us a chance to not only say what we want, but say what we need, explain what's been done wrong and how we can change that.
Jennifer Lukey, News 10 NBC.
Federal funding is being used for this study, but it doesn't come from the NIH, and researchers have been assured that the money is indeed secure. They're recruiting participants right now. Talk with your doctor if you think you may qualify.